What's up, people? It is, what day is it? Wednesday. I didn't record yesterday. I got tied up doing some errands. We got a big paving project all prepped up in Hyde Park, 150 tons. We're gonna get on that tomorrow. Today, we are down here at the pool project. Some of you have seen it, but we're getting this thing dialed in. The pool's filled in, compacted. Now we're going to do a 30 by 50 paved area for pickleball court. So we're finishing getting the grade finished on that. We're doing a 2-inch pickleball court with a 1% grade. And this area also is getting prepped for some additional parking, but we're working our way from the backyard out to the curb, so this will get done later on today. Got some garbage to get out of here. We just cut the fence out of the way. The same fence that I operated around very carefully when we were filling the pad in has now been removed. So we just got all these pavers pulled out. They wanted to save them. And I got a load of Sure-Pack on right now so we can finish shimming up this grade. We had to take off a knob of topsoil to get the water to drain. Our finished grade is at the same height as the existing patio stones, and then we're doing a 1% grade away from the house. So got our laser set up, trimming some roots because we were going to get into those roots a little bit, trying to get water to run. So just working on this for a while, get this dialed in so we can come pave this after. Prepped, ready for asphalt on the pickleball court. Got it all shimmed up where it needed to be, right pitch. Got it all compacted. I just scraped out this area for the additional parking, and we're just sticking the leftover Sure-Pack in there for now. We're gonna end up coating it with recycled asphalt. We are here, and Chad is full throttle. Looks like they got everything laid out. I guess they want to start cutting this berm down a bit, so we're gonna do that. Bunch of big rocks in it, unfortunately. It's 8:47. I'm not really sure why we don't have asphalt here yet, but we don't. stopping in here at the former pool job, show you guys what things look like now that it's all done. We pulled out of here a couple days ago, did this extension with recycled asphalt. Now he's got room for activities here on the side. Looks like we donated a bale of straw to him. Looks like we left garbage here too. So yeah, used to be a pool. Now there's no diving. He's going to expand his patio up to it. Came out really nice. What's up, everybody? It is Labor Day. Yep, I ended up shaving off this mustache because it was bugging the hell out of me. Now I look like fucking Abe Lincoln. I just had tires rotated on this thing because they were cupping really bad in the front. And as you can see, you now see 4 rims that used to be on the insides, and they are absolutely cruddy. So we're going to get those things cleaned up this week, make this truck look a little bit better. But this is the Bradford built body, and it came on this truck last July, and what a piece of garbage. They've already sent us new hinges for the doors because they're all rusting away. This body is rusting away. All the edges around the toolboxes rusting. Up here, you kind of expect it, you know, and where we put these D-rings on, you kind of expect it. But man, just every edge is just rusting away. Almost to the point where I want to just take this body off and scrap it and put a Duramag aluminum one on it. Just so disheartening to think that quality is not great, and obviously the Vermont winters aren't that good for it, but you'd think you'd at least get a year or 2 out of it before she starts rotting completely. So I think we'll rip it off this winter, put an aluminum one on, and sell this to someone dirt cheap. I put a nice hole in the trailer. The little skinny hole is from Matt. I don't even know how it happened, but then when I picked up that 145 to rent and try out, I was loading it in front of 15 people at the dealership and was trying to fold the bucket and stick and everything down as low as I could, and I had it setting on the deck already, and I thought I could go a little bit more, and I wasn't wrong. What's going on? Everybody have a good week? I hope so. We've had really good weather for the last 7 days, and it looks like it's going to continue for the next 5 or 6 days, so that's good because we're starting to catch back up. I apologize for not putting a video out in a while. Ran into some employee issues that made it so I couldn't record. It also affected my interest in recording. We were short-staffed for a bit. I just wasn't feeling it, and in the end, you know, we're trying to run a business here and just didn't have time to take video and stuff like that. So, but I did over the last week or so take some good content as we got rolling again, and so I figured I would put out another video because people like them, and I'm going to do my best to continue doing that as we go on. But yeah, for a couple of weeks, even through when the last video was published, we were down a couple guys, and interviewed some people. That didn't go well. Found a couple new laborers, got those guys in here. So that was a relief to me because we've cycled through some people this season, unfortunately, and for all sorts of different reasons, whether their personal lives or their ability to do their jobs properly, health issues, all the above were all reasons why people ended up having to leave. I think when we started the season, including office help, we were at 11 people. And I think now we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. 7 full-time and 1 part-time. So it's been a learning curve this summer, adding paving, trying to figure out how many people we actually needed. Since I'd never paved before, I only really knew what my guys who have paved before told me, as well as watching other crews and seeing how many people they use. And so we probably started out the season with too many people, and I think we're at a pretty good number right now. You know, we're got a couple drivers, Chad, Josh, David, Gavin's a new one. He came in as a laborer, pretty good kid, can run skid steer, so that's pretty handy. I see him running roller on a couple jobs. Looks like he knows what he's doing, so that's a relief for us. But we are still very, very busy, and I think I'm going to try to add a few more jobs for this season for the paving, and obviously I'm looking for dirt work to carry us right deep into the winter. So I'm hoping for another light winter, and hope things don't freeze that much and we can continue to do some dirt work. One thing I've noticed being in this business for 20 years, I guess, employees always have issues. And employees are the most expensive item on our expense sheet. You know, a truck might cost $1,800 a month when a crappy employee can cost you $4,000 a month, and it gets really disheartening. You know, I hired a guy a couple weeks ago as a laborer. I came in for a week and hadn't been working for a month. You know, life was going down the shitter. Needed money every day. So what I learned is if they need money every day, I'll pay them every day, but I'll pay them half of what they worked. And that's mostly because I've learned if you pay it all to them, they won't show up again. And you just get to the point where you're used to having to deal with that. So you just pay them half that they show up the next day because they want to come back and get the rest of it. So, but so he was needing money every single day, and then he wouldn't show up, and he wouldn't communicate, and that frustrates me. I don't care if you're going to be out all week. Maintain communication. Shoot me a text. Let me know what's going on. You're sick, kid's sick, somebody's sick, car's broken, whatever. Keep me in the loop. Takes 2 seconds. That's all I ask from people. But that is too hard for a lot of these people nowadays. And it doesn't matter if they're 20, 30, 40. I mean, the ages, you know, people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s are the most reliable. But a lot of the stuff we do isn't for people that old. So the reliable folks are aging out, and these new folks that are here, you know, in their 20s, 30s, I'm in my 40s, people like me, not many people possess common sense and will communicate with you like you want them to. They want their check every Friday, but they don't help you want to keep them around if they don't bother telling you what's going on so you can plan your day. I don't have 500 employees, and I guess when you have 500 employees, if one person doesn't make it in, it doesn't really screw up your schedule much. But when you've got 7 people and essentially 15% of your workforce doesn't show up one day, it really screws up what you have going on. So that is something, if anybody's watching these videos who is young and wants to get in this business and wants to excel at their job, communicate. Yeah, that's probably the easiest thing. Communicate and do a good job. I interviewed a few people over the course of the last month, and some of these guys, when you're interviewing for a paving crew, some of these guys think they're God's gift to the paving industry, which is a lot like excavator operators. A lot of those guys have a wicked chip on their shoulder. And but I had a guy come in, interview, said all the right things, had me pretty optimistic that he'd be a good hire. Told me what he needed for money, and I agreed to that. And the agreement was he was going to go tell his boss the next day. Fast forward to the next day, I don't hear from him. In the afternoon, he says he'll text me after work or call me after work, let me know how it went. Doesn't. Never hear from him again. So I just assumed that he must have been talked into staying at his current job, which is fine. But as soon as you do that to me and you don't communicate with me again, I just kind of forget about you. You're kind of dead to me in that sense, because obviously I'm not that important. So, and then like a week later, this same individual texts me and says, "Hey, sorry I didn't get back to you. My employer matched everything you said you were going to give me, but none of it's happening. I haven't seen it happen yet, so I'd like to talk to you again." And I said, "Dude, I'm not, stop playing games. You've used me to try to get more money and out of your current employer, and I don't really need you here anymore." And so we talked a little bit more, and his big demand was he wanted a take-home truck. And I'm not going to give people a take-home truck out of the gate. I'm not anymore. People need to prove to me what they can do before I give them a company truck. And nowadays, a company truck is worth about $5 to $6 an hour. So I'm not going to pay top dollar and give them a take-home truck. He didn't like that, and he stopped talking to me again. So I said, if you're confident in what you can do for me, then work 30 days, and if you are as good as you say you are, then I'll give you a take-home truck. Some people have asked me to talk about how we advertise, and I'm not going to give away all my secrets, but I will say that social media is the way to go. We run commercials on Facebook, Instagram. We do some Google SEO, but we also do some Google ads, which all seem to help. I would say, our first year, we probably got 95% of our business from Facebook. And last year, we probably got half of it from Facebook. I would say the same from this year. The nice thing is we're starting to have more repeat customers and more customer referrals, so that's good. I think this year, with paving being our first season paving and doing around $1 million in paving, is really good. And I can say that we achieved it because of running ads on social media, but also having a plethora of video content. So when I sit down and produce a commercial, I have all the content we need. I had content from the past 3 years of our subcontractor doing our paving. So when I launched our first ad campaign in February of this year, it was a montage of the footage I had of our subs working. You couldn't see their company name or anything. It was mostly time-lapse footage. But that first ad pretty much established our paving business, because I ran that until we started paving with our new equipment and doing it ourselves. And then within a couple of weeks, I had enough footage to put together a commercial showing our current people doing the jobs. And I've run that ad all summer long. So I'll show you the ad here where we used our sub footage that I took over the years. And then after that, I'll show you the current ad that we run. And like I said, that's brought in just about $1 million worth of work this year. So gone down as I'd hoped from a business plan perspective. When I sat down and wrote the business plan for the bank, I had goals, and the goal was to be between $1 million and $1.5 million for paving this year, and we managed to hit that goal. And we managed to book that amount of work by the end of July, so I felt like that was pretty good for a first year company doing paving. We've maintained our dirt project income, which last year was about $650,000, and I think we'll be there this year as well. So if we end the year at $1.5 million, that is pretty much that exceeds the goal I set for the whole company. So I'm very happy with that, despite all the employee drama and people leaving, coming, blah, blah, blah. We were able to do it. And I know next year, even if we can hit the same number, we're going to be more profitable. We're going to have ironed out a lot of the kinks, and I think it will be a better year overall. The team will hopefully continue to, well, first of all, hopefully the whole team comes back and they can continue to gel, and we can work more and more efficiently. I do plan on bringing on 1 or 2 guys that can go out and prep driveways, whether that means tearing out asphalt and prepping the base, or just prepping the base so that my paving guys can come in later and hammer out 1 or 2 jobs a day. I feel like the added expense of that third crew will be superseded by the fact that we'll bring in more money and we will operate much more efficiently. So that's my plan for next year. But so anyway, I appreciate you guys watching and hanging out till the end, and see you on the next one.